It does. Kingdom of Naples, capital, mansion. A group of shipgirls carried out the final combat simulations at a massive sand table. Andrea, our spies in the Sardegna Ecclesia and Republic of Florence have reported that nothing has changed. They brought their apostle, a key to further power, but for some reason they refused to make the next move. As for the apostle herself, she has left Florence for a little museum field trip. At least someone's having fun. Florence. Speaking of Florence, Corleone did a wonderful job of destroying their source of God's light there. As the 30% of subordinates nodes that we've received in 4 countries, we should be able to minimize the threat posed by the lattice of God's lights. Everyone has been moving in Milan. We have reports that they've started gathering troops 1 hour ago under the presence of an emergency military exercise. Cavour has personally headed to the border. Wasn't the dukedom abstaining from this war? What are they planning? Surely they haven't changed their mind. Do you think they're just doing their job as allies? It's entirely possible they want to warn the Sardegna Ecclesia. That would be bad. No matter, we'll mobilize our army and put the plan soon. It was never our intent to keep this a secret. Garibaldi, let's see if Milan is planned. Can you lead the Genoan fleet to monitor them for me? If they remain neutral as promised, even after we've raised the banner of eternal light, you may leave and join the attack on Florence. Otherwise, destroy them. Right. I've already made preparations in that regard. Trento, you and Bolzano will lead the Venetian fleet. Split into 2 groups and stand by. I will lead the Kingdom of 2 Sicilies on a frontal attack. Once the Ecclesia's army is focused on the southern line, attack for the north and east simultaneously. We'll seize as many nodes as we can in the short time we have, and deploy the banner of eternal night on the sources of God's light. The lattice may be weakened, but we mustn't underestimate God himself. Only by neutralizing his power with meta-corruption can we truly feel ease. Once the lattice of God's light is converted into the domain of eternal night, it will grant us great power. All forces must stick strictly to the plan. Do not ransack facilities without a pressing reason. We can handle that, but will you be okay? The Ecclesia's capital is as well fortified as they come. The lattice can still work at a reduced capacity on its own, and we don't know what weapons might be in those armories of God. We'll just have to overcome it with raw force. The instant the banner is deployed, our chance of victory skyrockets. If all else fails, did you ever forget that we have our own secret weapons? We have less than half a day left. Everyone, prepare yourselves. We will celebrate triumph in Rome. We will celebrate triumph in Rome! Unknown location. Unknown time. I just like these title cards because it just feels like such a waste. When I return from the recorded memory beyond the door, the distant silhouette seems a little bit closer. Oops. Hit the wrong button. Project M, Madam M, the Magician. I figured that voice. She spoke more robotically, but it was definitely her. Her number is 1, but seems to have been born after Hierophant, which is 5. Did Dr. Alice really build the Arbiters based on pure whim? What kind of orders to the Anti-U2 system went to the Sirens of today? The Magister Plan, the crux of Alice's work. A project that involved me, and perhaps even Dr. Anziel, along with old friends who I can no longer remember. Observer called it a grand plan to create change for the future, and provided me with extensive records of experiments she had been involved in. Queen Elizabeth Meta simply described it as survival of the fittest. And as quickly as ever, Helena Meta only told me to trust in Dr. Anziel's decision. Nothing else. It's all too complex. While I rack my brain over it, another door appears in the path onwards. I reach out to touch it, and everything changes abruptly. The sea burns beneath dark clouds. Wichita, the outer mirror's ear has been pierced. It's only a matter of time before this place falls. We can't protect it. I can't believe they dispatched Devil and Hierophant just for one little support outpost. To us to figure out our plan. The main force is in danger. No point staying here. Fighting him headlong would be reckless. Let's retreat. I hate Sauer to abandon this base. Here I thought the Sirens never think of checking a world that's been wiped clean. That's enough resistance. Why not surrender now? You've got a big mouth, kid. Who's really talking, though? Is it your puppeteer, Hierophant? Well, I gave you the option to surrender. Now that you refused. A series of thunderous booms erupted in the skies above. Space itself seemed to collapse for an instant, heralding the appearance of one girl. Where am I? Essex? No, that can't be. Our exes left us so long ago. You a remnant of this test site, or did you wander in from another one somehow? Wichita, I think something much more problematic even alongside her. Hierophant? In the distance, a great storm brewed. Beneath the storm, a fluid-emitting uncanny blue light coated the sea. Countless things seemed to stagger, squirm, and crowd upon it. Mimic beasts? Tss, change of plans. I have to fight those mimic beasts. Does the X threaten her more than we do? Let's take the opportunity to retreat. Should we take her with us? Yeah, she might be useful in a fight. She's willing to come, let's take her. You win some, you lose some. Mimic beast coming straight for us. I call that a loss. Hierophant, same plan as usual. I'll amplify the rod of Hierophant for you. Neutralize it as soon as possible and stop the corrosion. The light flows ceaselessly. I'm still in the inside of the door. I realize the inside and the outside are no different now. Chanting echoes throughout the pure light world and pierces my ears. For some reason, the strange, grating chorus sounds oddly soft now. I don't have that one translated like the Star Beast, I'm afraid. Thus, the Hierophant used its scepter. Screw you. The tide subsides, and down it sunk to the depths. The Hierophant fascinates me the way no other Arbiter does. She just feels so much more eldritch and unknowable compared to the others. In pursuit of the enemy saboteur, Marco Polo and the gang search for clues near the city square. Here it is. Pay attention, everyone. My intel must be right. My sources point to this spot as well. I don't see anything of note here. Scent cuts appear. Strain. The scent cuts off here too. Strains. My meow meow sniffer dog wouldn't make such an elementary mistake. Could they just be really good at hiding? Hiding alone will let you escape my doggy. Not by a long shot. Unless you use some kind of special method to erase any trace of their presence. Question. The scent stops right as you get to this square, right? Not in front of a particular building? You got that right, Your Grace. She would say it cut off abruptly. Yeah. Abruptly cut off. Abruptly. Whoa. That's suspicious. Come on, come with me. Marco Polo walked back the way it had come, past the site where the scent had suddenly cut off. Check again for me, Da Vinci. Is the scent still here? I checked it down, pretty sure. Huh? What? It's gone. Scent from this spot is gone too? Is my invention really malfunctioning? It can't be. I think I've done this correctly. This is an area of distorted reality. We're trapped in an illusion. An illusion. Look around you. Do you sense anything unusual? I don't know how I'd be able to tell. I'm sorry, I don't know either. That's fine. I feel it a little bit myself. These tricks aren't very easy to crack. Now you mention it, something does feel a little off. Oh? Tell me more. Like that building over there looks too new. And the way the light hits that other one is unnatural. The buildings in the distance don't really fit the rest of the street either. Raphaelia pointed in various directions throughout her explanation. Actually, it's really easy to tell. Have you girls not noticed? Naturally, everyone else was confused. This reminds me of this bit with the mirror in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, if I'm being honest. If you could see the incongruities, that makes this easier. A moment of silence, Marco Polo suddenly seemed confident. Trying to trap an apostle? And a brilliant one at that. Our enemies underestimate me. I have 9 ways to break this illusion. Can you point out all the incongruities before us, Raphaelia? Well, there are a whole lot, like over there, and over there, way over there. Oh, there. Get his point. Mark every single one of them for me. As I suggest putting those artistic skills to good use, can you draw the correct scenery, Raphaelio? Of course! I know everyone of Florence's streets like the back of my hand. I could draw them with my eyes closed. Then do just that, please. I'll compare your predictions to the surrounding scenery. I'm confident that I can accomplish such precise work. So basically, I draw pictures, you spot the differences. Okay, sounds like we got a dream team in the making. In the sunlight, Carducci stretched out her arm. The sun and breeze gathered in her palm. Next to her, Raffaello swiftly yet diligently sketched her renditions of the city. The wind blew each sketch into Carducci's waiting hand. One by one, they pieced together a detailed picture of the district. Phew. My comparisons are going well. I wouldn't know so many if not for Raffaello's photographic memory. Is this real magic? Your Grace, this is but one miracle wrought by the power of my faith. It's brain power! Normally I just use it to correct imprecise language and paperwork. Brain power! Yes, brain power, let's call it that. Now get to work. Don't you want to break this illusion? Not getting paid strips my motivation. Not having yet to slack off. What did you just say? Sorry, I'll draw now. If I'm only good at one thing, it's drawing. After a while, Raffaello had finished her work. The final page floated on the wind to Carducci. A flash of light, a detailed restoration of the city was complete. All done. My comparison is complete too. I marked every single difference down. Grace, what do we do next? Now that I have the correct perception in hand, the rest is easy. Now, behold! The veil of illusion had been shattered, and the gang was back in reality. Not far away, they saw an unexpected figure. You escaped that so quickly. Maybe I underestimated you. Maybe a different target is reacting. It's her! Bartolomeo Colini, why are you here? Are you already doing it? Why ask questions you already know the answer to? On behalf of Andrea Doria, I come with a joint declaration from Naples, Sicily, Venice, Genoa, and Milan for her grace. This is an era of freedom. Our league will no longer be bound by the shackles of God. We must be the ones to pen the end of this long tale. As such, your grace, consider us at war. After that declaration, Bartolomeo Colini left an official written document and disappeared into a sudden puff of smoke. She got away. Let's chase her. There's no point in trying. Besides, the situation is clear. There are more pressing matters now. Hold it. Didn't the Republic of Venice send her to celebrate me becoming the Apostle? Why in the world would she sabotage me now? Andrea's faction has finally sprung into action. What is Andrea's faction? The Kingdom of Two Sicilies is allied with us. Isn't it? To spring into action refer to that declaration? Sent people here just to declare war on me? For what purpose? Well, to prevent an early war crime. Shackles, stories, I don't get any of it! Huh? You're the Apostle, aren't you? Carducci, did not explain all this to her? Her Grace has not been in power for long, and I had to focus on internal matters to start. The plan was to teach her about such external matters bit by bit. Through mentions of shackles and stories, that was simply Andrea Doria's inflammatory propaganda. She's always believed that our God is harmful to the world. We are shackled and bound to his whims. Forced to follow his script, fated to face extinction after a caged and fruitless life. For a long time now, she's worked in secret to win over a base of allies in order to overthrow Sardegnian hegemony over the League, and separate faith and secularity once and for all. Of the seven powers of the Sardinia League, the Republics of Florence and Dukedom of Milan have been steadfast allies of the Sardegna Ecclesia, but the Kingdom of the Two Sicilies, the Republic of Venice, and the Genoan Republic oppose us. In recent years, Andrea's faction has gradually gained the upper hand on us. However, upon the Holy See's analysis of God's revelation, we learned that a ship-girl apostle was the key to harnessing divine power. With that, the situation has been clearly reversed. We expected her to take countermeasures, but not this soon. Why did you not mention that? I'm sorry, Your Grace. We misunderstood the situation. Well, if what you say is to believe, doesn't sound like Milan is such a steadfast ally after all. I can't say for certain right now. It may have been one of Andrea's lies. At any rate, I doubt that Florence remains an ally of yours. Andrea girl sounds awfully cunning. You're just the right time to strike. Fascinating. Anyway. Dividing faith and secularity must entail dethroning me as apostle, yes? I won't let her get away with that. Why, I'll crush her with my own two hands! Then what do we do? We should return home and call a meeting of the College of Cardinals at once. This is an emergency, and you want to hold meetings? I'm in charge here. I call the shots. We are going back to Rome, and everyone is going to obey my orders. I'll figure out a strategy as we go. For now, let's set sail at once. Marco.